This shit is busting.
All right,
Are
so
you looking at?
can y'all
Because you just love my bombs, bro.
can y'all pull up the stream to see if you can see me through there?
Yes.
What's your YouTube?
Yeah,
Sam Tree TV.
Sam Tree TV.
I feel it. Oh, that's fire, fam. Fire, shit.
All right, so are you looking at? Oh yeah. Can
Watch out,
y'all
I love my bombs, bro.
y'all
One
pull up the stream?
one of your
Just
audios is echoing.
Someone says something,
playing the video.
but it might be me.
All right, Madani, because we could hear your videos too, so it's probably just you playing the video.
But nobody can hear me back, right?
I can hear you. What? Yeah, y'all can. All right, we're good to go. All right, this is the Keep Magazine interview. I'm Sam Tree. So, Madani, how did I find you? I think you found me via Instagram. But yeah, this was an idea you told me about, and one thing that's really inspiring is how quick it came to fruition. I think I've only known you for about like 6 months, and when you were first bringing it up, it was like a past project, and now it's genuinely, I think, like one of the more interesting and inspiring sites on the internet. So I guess the way I kind of want to open this up is kind of have you guys introduce yourselves. So maybe if you want to, you can pick who goes first. Each take like a couple minutes and just talk about like your history, your past. What do you feel like are the things that got you to this point as far as starting a publication? Because for me, as a creative, things can feel very like natural, but when you look back, sometimes you can be like, this definitely had a big impact. So tell the people, tell the tree world about yourself. Who wants to go
The
first?
tree well. Kenzie, do you want to go first?
Nah, bro, you got it.
I got it. Okay. I mean, if you want, you can talk about a bit about yourself first, and then I can tie it all together with Keep and how that happened.
All right, bro. Well, I'm Kenta, one half of Keep. I'm in Michigan. I started design in like ninth grade or something in like 2020 or 2019 actually. I was in eighth grade middle school. I was just I just started making brand concepts at first, like concept designs for brands that I liked. And then eventually I just decided like I was looking at my Instagram after doing that for like 2 years. It's like I'm not gonna go anywhere with this if I just keep doing this. So I started doing like my own brand. That didn't work out. Um,
What was your own brand? What do you mean by brand? Like clothing brand?
yeah, I was doing my own clothes for a little bit, just under my name, Kenta Osborne. Um, I don't really like it, but it was a good stepping stone.
You have a good name for a label.
Yeah.
It is.
Um, I don't think just kind of got here like I was just sort of experimenting, just trying things out over time. Like I do music videos, started producing last year. Uh, I like photography too. I don't know. It's just sort of transformed into me trying out a bunch of mediums and posting whatever's my favorite that comes out of that. And Madani can explain later how we got into Keep. That's all.
All right, Madonna, you want to introduce yourself to the stream here?
Yeah, sure. Madani. Firstly, thank you for having us. I'm glad we're like the debut. I think we're the debut, right?
Yes, you are the first person other than me to be on Sam Tree TV.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you for having us. Um, so me, I'm a designer. At heart, I'm a writer, I think. Like I have an affinity for words. That's like something I've always had. I'm not a very visual person. Yeah, I really like words. Words are my thing. Um, how did I meet Kenta? I was also doing clothes, but they were like terrible, like really, really bad.
Yeah, bro, that shit was ass.
Yeah, don't. Your shit was ass too. Don't lie. And I was also doing clothes, and I had a bro, like even disrespectful to call it a brand, but um, I really liked some of Kenta's stuff at the time. You know, I had bad taste. Clearly, stop. No, we're not throwing each other under the bus. This is not happening.
All right.
And yeah, so I wanted to do some work with Kenta and his and I'll bring up Harris. I might have to. Sorry,
Not
yeah,
like,
no, yeah. So he was working with Harris, and I really like both of their work. And I've been speaking to Harris for some time before. Uh, but we never actually got a collaboration or anything like that. And then fast forward a few months, we've been talking here and there, and I kind of just got added to a group chat. And um, yeah, Harris already had this name, Keep Magazine, and from there we built it out. And I've always had like an interest for editorial, so yeah, it was really interesting. Even now, like my long term goal is to work in the editorial space. Yeah, that's how we got here. And then the website, I think that's interesting in of itself, something to talk about. Um, yeah, we've gone through like 4 rebrands for Keep at this point. Within the space of a year, we started in January to 2025. With each rebrand, we kind of got closer to something that we liked, but uh, it's kind of like you throw shit at the wall. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And every time we'd kind of get restless of it. This is a time. This is the rebrand that's felt like most true to us. I think. Um, yeah, definitely something we're enjoying. Uh, yeah, the site was a group collaboration. We really love the concept, and I think it's that we've had so much positive feedback on it. Yeah, it's just like really fulfilling to hit that people love it as much as us. Yeah,
Two things I think are really special about the site, and I really relate to like how even Kento was just saying, like, posting content. You guys both had these different brands, and you just felt like it wasn't really working. And for me as a content creator, I can like very often I want to talk about the things I like, but it's like, where am I in that? And you guys have done a really interesting job of like, you have your own unique identity, and you're offering your own inspiration in a way that you can't do it on a social media platform. It's precisely in like the details and the way we experience it that the Keep identity exists. And I think that's a really great way to engage with these things, but not like, one of my issues is I want to post videos of Steve Jobs, but then I feel like I'm the same as like any of those entrepreneurial finance accounts, like to be able to address these things and give them your own perspective and context. I'm like really excited to see how that ages over the years, because it's very new territory. Last thing I want to touch up on the intro though is you guys have never actually met each other, right?
in person, no.
Yeah.
no, he's across the ocean.
Yeah, across the ocean. That's also just like super modern. That's super new.
Yeah, and I feel like not many people in this space have co-founders actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to collaborate on something these days because there's less of like a direct need for it, but collaboration is key.
Yeah.
Okay, Keep intro. So for anyone in the future or anyone at all who doesn't know what Keep is, as of today, December 2nd, 2025, how would you describe Keep?
Madani, you got that.
Okay. So Keep magazine. It's cosplaying a magazine.
Cosplay.
we kind of just do what we want.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
literally no prints,
yeah,
no
yeah. The concept of the site is like we treat it like a cabinet somewhere, and within it are all of these different experiences and all of these different. So the core brand is the idea of containment, and then within that we can explore so many different ideas, because nothing has to follow some sort of guidelines or overarching brand document we have somewhere, but like rather it's just the containment of multiple ideas. Because when approaching interviewing people and like wanting it to be true to those people, kind of like how we talk, we I remember I spoke to you about A Magazine, um, and how they would give creative liberty to the people they're interviewing, and I think that makes the interview experience so much more true to them. In a similar spirit, we we needed that sort of flexibility to really represent either certain ideas or the actual, the spirit of the person we're interviewing. So that's why we took this approach. Yeah.
That's really, that idea of containment is really interesting. Thinking about thinking about how a lot of like art right now is just about almost like Virgil's 2% rule, just like making adjustments. And I oftentimes feel like people are just doing stuff for the sake of doing it, just like throwing a change. So it's really cool how you're actually dealing with that. What's that word? Curation, like element, that practice of curating and archiving, and that is like a place to make those adjustments where it's actually a functional difference. That's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, real quick, I have some questions I wrote down. I want to get through these because I think in a long time, the further time goes out, I think the more interesting these questions will be, because we're leaving, the physical print era, and I think you guys are at the forefront of what digital publication is going to look like. What are some of your memories or favorite things or best or worst experiences with physical magazines? You guys, as the founders of a magazine, what is your world like in terms of physical magazines?
I'm not gonna lie, I've only touched like 3 magazines in my entire life.
That's crazy.
Mm, kind of similar here. I mean, um, at some point I had a Vogue subscription. Magazines I'm currently interested in are Face, the Face magazine, and 032C. But even those are largely consumed digitally. Uh, like I don't know. I remember I don't know. Someone in my house had an Esquire subscription. It's so bad, and it's like I don't know. I've never held a magazine and be like, this is something I want to keep buying or keep reading. So it's not one of those. Yeah, I mean, generally, I think physical magazines or like the current state of them are super distasteful. But there's lots of like small pockets of magazines happening or like just print publications happening that are super interesting and exciting. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think future's digital. The future always has been. It has been digital. Things have been moving towards digital for like the last 10 years.
I also had a Vogue subscription for a while, and it's interesting how, like, obviously how ad heavy all of those
Mm.
print publications are. Like, that was the whole point of it, was just ad revenue. And I'm curious, like, with Keep, do you anticipate using that same business model of being advertisement based company, or do you think you'll be interested in finding other ways to monetize it?
Mm. So Keep is already so heavily directed by us that the only way I think I would be happy, like seriously happy with advertising on Keep is if we are given a lot of liberty in terms of how the advertisement is displayed. Um, for a little bit of context, we are actually working on something physical right now. Um, and I spoke to someone who works at New Balance, and he was telling me that they've helped like smaller print publications with their magazines, and the entire thing is paid for just by ads. Like even just printing it, they make money off the prints. Like they don't have to sell it for them to make money, right? Just through the sheer number of advertising in there, and that's like, yes, it's enticing to be able to fund our ideas like that, but also I don't know, it loses its purity for me. That's how I feel about advertising. I think it heavily need to be influenced and directed by us. I wonder how you feel, Kunta.
I mean, yeah, I basically feel the same way. Like, keep is just one of those things that I don't want. Like, I just want to become like a sellout in any way. We are the same direction, and even with money and like profit and stuff. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. Like, keep is just more of like a sort of like a tool to us to reach the things we want financial wise. That's not really where we plan on making money, but like with networking and showing people our potential in our fields like web design and graphic design and whatever, it'll it'll lead to that.
I think Keep in of itself also has crazy potential. Like, yeah,
I'm glad
Yeah.
you said that, Kenta, because I think so many people in the journalist space, they want to do their own thing. They have their own ambitions, and they're either lying to themselves or they're just not earnest about it, and it like rubs off, I think, on the work. So I think it's really cool that you guys have your own incentive, your own edge to be creatives and to do things in a new, unique way. And there's like this time period where you're going around and offering that service to different people and different things that are going on. It's like I think like if Virgil had a magazine for like a few years and then just didn't, whatever was in there becomes like you know more part of history. It just exists, like you could say, longer or like to more people. So yeah, I think that's really interesting, and you guys are definitely very aware for both an early company and early young people.
Type shit.
Type shit, type shit. Okay,
taste, taste.
on to the next section,
Hey,
the interviews. So that seems like the I don't know, the primary content that's generated on Keep, I'd say, right?
As of now, yes.
Yeah, interesting. So give me a little bit about this element of it. Why interviews? How'd you get into it? Once again, is there anything from your past that inspired you about interviews? Do you have any favorite interviews, or, how do we get to that section of it?
well, I think low key Madani, for being honest, I think the interviews are our least favorite part of Keep. Yeah, we just
That's not to say we don't like doing them. Okay, pause.
yeah.
It's sometimes they're hard to work people, but no, sorry for cutting you off, man. Carry on.
Yeah, it's just like you don't like waiting on other people. We have like so many interviews lined up where we're just like waiting on answers, and we've been waiting for like weeks. You can't get an interview out, and then it's like oh man, like our feed is like filling up, and like where's the next interview even at? We kind of just like the freedom of like literally everything else. But we started doing interviews simply based on the fact that it's going to be a magazine, which was our initial idea. Um, like you got the name Keep Magazine. What do magazines do? They do interviews. So it's like, who should we interview? Creatives, graphic designers, whatever. We did that when we first started Keep. We were busting out 5 interviews a month, which took a lot of time and energy. Now we just do one whenever we get one, and with higher quality people. Um,
But even when you say like it's because the magazine element, it's like, how do we get there? Because neither of you really have or engaged with like magazines. What was attractive about that?
Kind of just thought the name was cool.
Yeah, I think there's also like a want to experiment in the editorial format. Become We had the mock up with both on mock, Oh, don't mention Dan Alves. Sorry. We had a. I remember Kent was the one who bought it for us, and we just shared it. Um, yeah, we is an interesting format to experiment in without having to like actually buy any like commit to paying for print. But yeah, that was I think that was a
Yeah,
big of the
yeah, it
magazine.
kind of made sense at the time because we were all in like the graphic design field and like had a good amount of connections at the time, and we wanted to have a like we're all kind of just like mindless graphic designers, but we wanted a like focused source of output. So we were doing like spreads, like we were doing actual magazine pages back then. We don't do that anymore because it's kind of pointless. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
that's why we're here.
that's a good adjustment. When you say it's kind of pointless, it's so funny because you guys were doing that, and I've come across some other people who do like print publications, and it's just like, why is this not digital first? For me, is like the like if it's not digital first, then it's not that it's like a gimmick, but it's like a company that sells like, like antiques or something. It's like a real specialized thing that's not mass production. It's not mainstream anymore.
It's just
Yeah,
how
no, I think print should be supporting the digital aspect of any publication company. Well, not any, but at least in the magazine space, like print should be a supporting factor, not the core business model.
Yeah, because if print is the core business model, then it's usually just ads or the core business model.
Yeah, I don't think people ever sell a magazine.
No, that,
Like if we did go into print, it would be books. Like it wouldn't be a magazine.
it'd
interesting.
just be more artistic rather than like some actual normal magazine type stuff.
Speaking of artistic, so that's another thing I want to break down is kind of how you guys go about doing these is really special. So, do you have a preference of any of these interviews? Do you think kind of lays that out where you basically have people come in and you curate these digital experiences to figure out who they are, and it gives them a platform where it isn't just text, it isn't just a video, it's a digital experience that translates their brand, communicates like their aesthetic. Yeah, do you have a favorite one I should click on to go through?
I think we both might have different favorites. Kenta, you go first. What's your favorite?
I don't know. The Soup Kills one was my favorite for a while because it's so unique, but the visual of it just seems a bit like not there. But I think the Soup Kills is still my favorite.
Yeah, and you can explain where you feel like it's not there too. Um,
It just seems like if you look at the Frederick one, just like the Wikipedia one, or if you look at the Salon one, it's like
We got
they're
so
all
much better.
modern, like UI wise, whatever. The Soup Kills one is just like it looks old, which I mean is cool in itself and kind of fits the vibe, but yeah,
Yeah.
still though, conceptually.
so I remember
Oh,
you explained this to me
we're doing Dan
before
Alves.
with the disappearing text. Can you explain that? It's super cool.
Oh, um, Ken, do you want to explain
Oh wait, this is the wrong one, bro.
You made it, right?
I'm tripping.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, so we
I'm tripping.
we worked with Dan Alves. I forgot it. The
Oh, wait, let's come back to the Dan Alves one. Let's go to the Soup Kills one.
okay.
I
No,
don't know
it's just
how
I'm
good
looking at
it's broken.
the visual. Soup Kills. Yeah, I
Oh, so
made the
this
Soup
is the
Kills one.
game one.
But is it all of them are really a collaboration between me and Kenta? Like,
While you guys talk about this real quick, I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be really quick.
Where Madani,
so
how much lag is there on the stream? Do you see that I'm on the
no,
Soup Kills one right now?
yes, like, now it's just you've only just clicked on the Soup Kills one for me.
All right, so you're like 20 seconds behind, probably. So yeah, this is very, very interesting. Wedding.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, what was
the
the
idea.
inspo behind doing that choose your own adventure game there?
So Soup Kills' work is super there's like I wouldn't say grungy, it's like Scotland through his lens, but also everything is quite crushed and there's also a theme of nostalgia. Uh Stuff that's like photographed by him. These like graphics with parts that are missing. Uh it feels like extremely digital yet extremely tactile, which is something I haven't come across before. And I've been following his work for some time before this. Um, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, through that, it really felt kind of fitting, especially with the assets he gave us, to make something that just felt really old internet, like Web 1.0 kind of stuff. Um, and yeah, this just felt like the right direction as well. Like a way to display the artworks that he gave us, but also to do his aesthetic justice. It's more art, yeah, do his art justice.
Super cool. All right, now since I clickbaited it, real quick, what was this Dan Alves one? This is super cool. What was the inspo here?
So Dan Alves, I don't know if I want to air this out, but we just didn't have a good time working with Dan. And also for how young he is, like his portfolio seemed like a little too good to be true, and we couldn't verify any of it. like looking into all of these projects and finding out like he probably didn't play that much of a role in any of these, but his portfolio is like insane. It's stacked. Um, so this idea of it being like unverifiable, uh, like it didn't hold essentially.
Yeah.
This idea of like falling apart. That's the sort of uh messaging I was going through, like subliminally. In hindsight, it's kind of on the nose. But
It's so
that's the
it's such a great way to artistically engage with digital experience. Like that's like a that is like such a Web3 way of doing things. That's such a futuristic way to approach something, in my opinion. I think this is a really great one. Okay, which one was your favorite, Madani?
my favorite is the newest one, the Frederick St. Park one. Um, Both the actual interview content, I think that's the best interview we've ever ran. And then also the responses and the general concept for it. I think it's like our best execution of anything for Keep thus far. Besides the directory. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so
The responses and the general concept.
the Wikipedia recreation, was that his idea or your idea?
No, it's our idea.
So what's your process kind of like when you're dealing with the interview subjects, the interviewees? Like, how do you deliberate what the experience is going to look like?
Mm, okay, so usually we try to have it be as collaborative as possible, but sometimes it's just not something that comes to them, you know? So we went through a couple ideas for this one. Uh, Forgot what was it. One of the previous ideas is like a recreation of his home through pictures of his furniture, and you kind of like click on each piece of furniture, and like each one kind of tells a story about a space, but like he was moving at the time, so it didn't even make sense to do that. Um, but he's like based in China, which I found like really cool. And like his connection to China as well is like really interesting. In the interview, he also talks about it. Um, so yeah, like we try to have it as collaborative as possible, pitch a few ideas, pitch a few concepts, see which one feels the best to them. Also, if they can play a part in either making the graphics or um just providing us with some sort of assets that makes it more personal to them, then that's like a best case scenario for us. But uh, like with this one, we kind of just pitched it and we made it, and both parties were happy.
Super cool. All right, on that, while we're on this interview section, is there anything else on the Keep site? Because anyone who is watching this in the near future or at all, I want them to experience it on the site, how it's meant to be. But yeah, do you have any
Yeah, I think
final things?
one of the one of the more interesting things we have on the site at the moment is actually Kenta's idea and execution. It's the music player. I think it's really interesting. Kent is a producer, and I mean, I want to have as much of us in Keep as possible. I think great idea and also amazing execution. This bringing like an analog feel to a digital experience. I think it's super cool. It would be on the main page
All right, I'm gonna pull it up.
if you're on there.
All right, I got it up right now. Yeah, this is a great little tidbit.
And we made it work like a
And this
actual
is music
digital.
you made?
No, it's just a mix that I put together. You like actually drag the CD into the slot to like play it, which I think is cool.
So, what are some other? I mean, if you don't have to leak them, but do you envision a lot more elements like that? Beyond interviews, where you guys are doing other curational kind of experiences.
Do you want to take this one, or are you okay?
I mean, I can't think of anything specific right now, but I think we definitely plan on doing more experimental things like this.
Yeah, I think especially with our current frustration, which is weighing on people, uh, which to be honest, it might be us shooting ourselves in the foot by doing this on a monthly schedule. Because I know that some magazines are waiting like months to interview people or piece things together into a single publication, which is something we just don't have the liberty to do at the moment. So I think we're looking at more self-directed experiences, stuff that come from us that don't require an interview. Um, yeah, think of how like Mischief is run. To be honest, Mischief kind of heavily relies on collaboration. But yeah, just like making experiences and moments on the internet without the need for an interview. Not that we're stopping interviews, just that yeah, more self-directed experience.
All right, I have a list of final questions and everything for you, but before that, is there anything that's on your mind today? Like, it's interesting to me with, you know, where you're at in the company and where I'm at in my life and how, you know, these are very pivotal times, and some of the like simplest challenges and the simplest obstacles are like very big in these moments. What do you feel like are maybe some of the biggest obstacles or questions, things to figure out, question marks in the future of Keep right now?
In my opinion, it's just discipline. I think we just need to gain a discipline to work on the project more ferociously. Um, yeah, I have personally been slacking a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah,
I feel like we're already very busy and we keep putting other things first, especially when money's on the table with commissions and stuff. We tend to put those first, but we do see a lot of potential in Keep and we need to definitely prioritize it more and have more output with it. And another thing we've been considering is, I mean, Madani's mostly been considering is just wiping magazine from the name.
yeah, just making it keep. I think that's a keep thing to do. But again, that's like something that will. I don't think it'll happen soon. I think
Me personally, I think it should still be called Keep Magazine, even if there's no interviews or any prints. I think I
No,
think it's
I mess with that as well. I think even back when we were like magazines, like the interviews aren't the most important part of this. Like it makes sense to have magazines part of the name. Yeah, I mean just for credibility reasons as well, especially when we're trying to like reach out to people and we have magazine in the name. I think there's a little bit of gravitas to that for sure. But yeah, I think just generally wanting to work more on Keep and having it be a priority for me and Kenta uh, in due time, in due time. But we have some amazing ideas right now. Things are definitely happening. Um, yeah, exciting things soon.
On a gun, a magazine is just an extended clip. I don't know why I felt like that. That felt right. All right.
What do you hate the most about the magazine? Okay, hate is crazy, but what's the thing you like the least about the magazine?
Me? You asking me?
Yeah, yeah, you.
I like everything about it.
That's not possible.
stuff.
Let
Okay.
me think. Let me think. Because there's so many like notes of it that maybe you guys don't even intend to that get to the core of what I'm about, which is like leaving social media, making our own platforms. I love that stuff. So just the element of you're doing that at a pretty high level is like genuinely, motivates me and inspires me. But
Mm,
I think something I run into a lot, and this is like a very meta, high level criticism, is something that's tricky with minimalism and modernism is it's a very fine line where simplicity leads to actually more complexity. And I do think that in due time you guys will achieve probably a UI and an interface that maybe is bigger than just references. But I do think it's very like the referencing is still like sampling. There's like so much soul in a sample. I don't think there's any sort of like lack of skill or lack of talent that goes into like a proper sample flip. But I'm excited to see you guys come into your own on the design front also, and see where your original kind of unique aesthetics come into play.
mm, definitely. I mean that's super kind.
I think
Yeah.
I said it to you. I've said this before. I'm not being kind at all, and that's like the kindest thing I could say because it's
No,
actually
you
just
have
like
said that to me. No, no, no.
functional.
But okay. Yeah, but okay, the feedback is extremely positive, I think. Uh, and the fact you're even thinking of it like that, like you needed to be provoked in the first place, and the fact that we have provoked is super interesting to me.
All right, here's Merch's list of questions. If you could only have, and this is open, you don't need like an exact answer. If you could only have like one CD to take on this island, that whole like prompt, that's basically just like, what do you like? But if we're gonna phrase it like, if you're left alone on an island and you can only take one CD, what are some of the things that you would throw on it? What are some of the core pieces of media that you guys, as a curator, archivist, curatist, what are some of the things that you really enjoy and hold near and dear?
Wait, do we
Only,
have Wi-Fi though?
sorry?
Will we have Wi-Fi on the island?
No,
No.
no, that's why you got a CD.
Is there other people on the island?
Uh, the island is hypothetical, but not hypothetically. You're on an island. There's a good, solid community of wholesome people, and it's a great
Okay.
time on the island. But there's no entertainment. There's no digital media, but you can take one CD. What are you putting on
Okay. I know my pick. My pick is Jesus, and then we just start a cult on the island. Because if there's no other people on the island, then I take my beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But if there is people on the island, then I'm taking Jesus because I love it just as much.
Is this a music CD or something we can put stuff on?
I was thinking, yeah, more like a flash drive CD vibe. Like you can just put
Oh
stuff
shit.
on it. But no, I mean, music CD is also a great answer. What I was getting at is that music and then maybe like a movie. But really, just what are like some core things that you would bring with you?
I'll put FL Studio on there.
Hmm.
That has
Um,
any Wi-Fi. Um,
You could
and
just use
make
like
music,
sticks and rocks and stuff though.
bro. But what about like synthesizers, bro?
You're right. Being a synth god on an island of 200 people who have no conception of the digital world, that'd be a pretty good way to achieve
Bro,
godhood.
they'd be praising me.
Yeah, that'd get pretty spiritual pretty quick.
Well, I don't know. I put like a copy of Wikipedia on there. Um,
Smart.
and then yeah, Jesus. And then for a movie's a good one. Hmm.
Only one movie. What about like a
Well, I'm putting Utopia, the TV show Utopia, the British version, not
That
the
show is so
2020 version.
good, bro. That show's so good.
Oh, it's so good. No, that's my three. That's my three things on the disc.
All right, Merch's next question is what is the role of a creative or an artist in today's world where fine art is seemingly no longer valued or appreciated the way it was a long time ago? What do you feel like are ways that you guys, as young creative people, see yourself being fitting in to this world that's in front of us?
I think it comes from within. I think
like you said like what is the role of an artist?
More so creative, but yeah, like it's because back in the day, like Da Vinci just had to paint the Sistine Chapel. Like he didn't have a choice. They were just like, you know how to paint, you're gonna go do this, and like that fine element of being a creative, that ability to like see new opportunities and stuff. It's no longer has like that direct kind of role like that. So in that
So
sense,
for me personally, it's just the want to bring my creative thoughts to reality.
hmm, I think
That's
it's
it.
oh sorry.
I was just saying that's it.
Oh, okay. No, I think for me it's not for me personally, but I think the role of the creator today is to find purpose. Like yeah, I mean you mentioned that even in a world where things aren't like fine art isn't appreciated. Uh which I still think there is a huge community of people who appreciate fine art. I think it is definitely steadily falling with our generation. Um yeah, just find purpose regardless of if people are appreciating it or not. Uh yeah, man. Find purpose, find the thing you want to make and yeah, make it. It's hard though. Hashtag capitalism, man.
yeah, I mean that's a great answer. I feel like a good creative should be doing stuff from within and letting and then dealing with how to figure out the outside world after that.
Yeah, it's hard to do it in parallel, right? Um, at least like the more artistic you get, I think the harder it is to do that in parallel because it kind of like poisons the water. Um, I don't know. I feel like I talk to so many people who are jaded in that way. Uh, and like I don't blame them for being jaded in that way. I think it's just a part of life, you know. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Did you see that?
yeah.
I just saw that video of Johnny Ives talking about like in order to actually do anything new, you have to tell a bunch of smart people that you know better than them, and that's like a hard thing to do, you know. So as
This is
far
what it was like to drop out, bro.
yeah, interesting.
Yeah, bro. I was just like, because what I did, I was just collecting data, right? I was just like asking everybody and their mama. I was asking people who are in industry with a degree, people in industry without a degree, people who've got crazy jobs, people who haven't got crazy jobs, people are doing what I want to do. Well, all of the people that I spoke to are doing what I want to do. And after hearing such a diverse set of experiences, like the general consensus was don't drop out. And I had to tell all of these people, like, yo, I did it anyway, you know. Even though they're all technically smarter than me and probably have more ability than me, but um, they don't have the point of view that I have, and I think that's something that's unique to me.
Well said. All right, the last thing I have on my list um, is, well, it's kind of two sections. One is and this I want to try to do for everyone I interview. So this is the first one, but it's a message to the future. But think of it like a yearbook quote. It's not like a big paragraph, just like one sentence, one bar. It could be nothing. It could be a smile, but in that context of it's like the yearbook quote of Sam Tree TV. Do you have anything?
How many a second? Madani, I know you can cook some crazy ass metaphors.
No, I have a few in my mind right now.
Look at you go.
I just want it to be like a reminder of death, you know? Uh, like I don't know, but also I really believe we immortal, like our souls live forever, you know, type shit. Um, I don't know. Yeah, like my quote is "shit is finite." Oh, that's a banger.
Shit is
No,
fine.
seriously, I need to think. Wait.
Right. You should. You already said it, bro. You should just be like, "Our souls live forever" type shit.
Shit is finite is kind of a bar though, because it's like the shit you're going through is gonna come to an end, but it's also like, yo, everything's gonna come to shit's. It's all
And
finite.
also, like, this shit coming out of your body too.
Yeah.
Finite.
Banger.
Triple entendre on accident, bro. Really intelligent like that.
Yeah, our souls live forever, but our time here is finite. That's my banger. That's my Buffy.
Um, I guess my quote is just shit really don't matter.
That's the duality. That's me and Kenta.
Well, that was a incredible first interview. I appreciate y'all coming out, and it's no rush to leave. That's the end of my itinerary though. But I,
Hmm.
if you have anything, kind of in an open platform sense of like literally anything to talk about, anything to put out into the ether, of hopefully I will have people watching this stuff soon enough, and I'm sure some amount of people will be discovering you from this. Is there anything you'd have to task them with looking into, tell them about, warn them about, you know, any messages to the world here on my open platform 32 subscriber YouTube channel? No, we're at like 80, bro. We're lit.
Oh, that's a big difference. How'd you say 30?
Um, I don't know. I think stop. Stop. No, it's like no, like if someone is watching this, I think we all have the intuition to stop listening to some people and start listening to other people, and also considering ourselves above everything else. Wow, there's a car outside my window. Um, but that also kind of breeds a selfish level of individuality, but which I don't like. But really is you and yourself. Yeah, and also just stop listening to people in general and start making stuff. That's it.
Solid. Solid. Kenta, something that caught my attention was when you were talking about how this is like one thing you guys are doing, but you envision you guys doing other stuff in the future. Do you know what any of those things are? Or are you still figuring it out?
Like me and Madani doing?
You both together, separate, just like what are some things you want to put out into the universe and claim it by speaking it into existence?
Well, I'm going to be doing more music videos personally. I have a lot of fun doing that.
Nice.
Um, um, just trying to think. Me and Madonna.
Do you film music videos or just edit them?
Yeah, film, edit, and direct them.
Huh.
Trying to think. Well, I'm starting um a web design and graphic design like solo agency that's coming soon. I'm sort of trying to separate that from my personal Instagram and brand or whatever. And like brand another thing fully as the web design stuff. Um, and that should be better for like clients and whatever. Um, I don't know. I don't know what this dude Madani's got all going on, but that's what I'm working on right now. I like to not have too many projects. Like I like to have a few little ones that are really good.
Yeah, I'm sure that. Looking to be overwhelmed. That's like I mean, like, that's my bag right now. Uh,
This dude is
I
looking
think
to
this is
soul. So if you want to buy it, hit him up.
sorry. Oh, my soul. No, no, no. That's actually something. Owner keeps talking about that, and it's like something interesting. I'm glad that like someone inspired him in that way. Um, my soul is for sale. No, like I'm just ready. I feel ready. You know, feel ready to do so much. Again, editorial space hopefully soon. Uh, but more so, I want to learn from the inside and then bring it to whatever I'm working on the outside. Um,
What does it mean to sell your soul?
what does it mean to sell your soul? Compromise in ethics and vision. I think that's what selling your soul is to me.
Yeah, earlier when we had asked what are some of the challenges, you guys said discipline, and some came to mind of literally like yesterday. One of my our team member for Daplets, Madani, you're on that project as well. I was talking to him about potentially bringing in funding, and when I was explaining what I think it would empower me to do, he's like, "Well, just think about it like this: if you aren't willing to do that without funding, then that means an investor values your company more than you." Because it wasn't like I needed
Whoa.
anything this or that. I just needed to put in a bunch of the time. But if I'm not willing to put in the time unless someone can pay me, then I'm not recognizing the value that this thing has. Like because if I did, then I would put all the time into it. I wouldn't need that short-term financial incentive. But I
I think
mean,
it depends on the kind of financing you're looking at. I don't think that's always true.
yeah, it's
You know,
definitely not always true. I was just about to
sometimes
correct
it's
the way I
worth
said
it.
that.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I mean, I think I'm in the stage of my career. I hate the word career. It's weird. I'm in the stage of my life where I'm willing to compromise and I'm willing to essentially be taken advantage of, in return for skills, knowledge, and connections. Um, yeah, that's where I am.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And I think it's a good place to be. You know, I think it's a good place to be. I think this is the most aggressive way I can approach improving.
Yeah,
Um,
the idea of career to me is so stupid because like the dude who like invented Isaac Newton, who is like the father of physics, Newton's laws of gravity, he was into philosophy. He was a biblical scholar. His
hmm,
hobby was discovering physics. That was his side quest, you know. And it's like the same with, someone like Elon. I mean, he claims his focus is on Mars. So then proliferating electric cars into the mass market was a side quest. That was like a hobby. But it's so people are very quick to like be like, "What are you doing? You have to go down this one route." But especially with you being so young, yeah, I mean, you definitely have the right head on your shoulders about not feeling pressured to limit yourself too early. It's
no, definitely not.
nothing
Definitely
wrong
not.
with that grind of working for other people.
Not at all. Hmm. How do you feel about money? Like
Money.
just in general.
Well, money is a very complicated system that we've built to play power games, and I think it's essential that we get past the concept of money. I feel like that's like the video game of Earth is like we all showed up here and there's enough resources for the amount of people, but until we can figure out how to actually achieve that, we haven't beat the video game. But like
Mm.
the idea that it's just the PvP versus PvE mentality. So I think money is at the core of us being player versus player. And if we had a player versus environment mentality, you know, the money's literally useless. It literally doesn't mean anything. It's a socialized human contract. So it's weird because it's like in order for me to do anything, accomplish anything, and work towards having things be more about mutual, building a better world rather than beating the world or just surviving. You know, that from the survival mindset to the actually thriving mindset, it seems like the only way to do it is make a bunch of money. So then life becomes very, you know, complicated and ironic very quickly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, our job is to create, well, not job, but our self-directed purpose is to create things. Um, but I don't know. I think we shouldn't disregard money. I think it's in of itself, it's quite important. Like buying power, it's super important, uh, especially when a lot of our work or our work success hinges on time, especially in the design field, not so much in the art field, but it hinges on time, and others' time can be bought with money,
But
and that's often really important.
like for me that's where it's so complicated because our base structure is we're at a net negative, so I can't just survive for free. Like I have to pay my insurance company. I have to, so there's just bills no matter what. So it's like if we're
Yeah.
operating at a net negative, then obviously like it's going to be very easy to make things happen with money because people need it. But the
Mm.
the that demand, you know, that need for money, that is not the earth doing that to us. That's not God. That's not the universe. That is us humans doing it to each other. You know, and that's where deep down I just feel like it's a concept we need to work past. Like I feel it's such a taboo topic because there's communism and socialism and there's so much war that comes with those ideas. But at the end of the day, I think us young people need to have faith that we can build better systems.
Yeah, I respect that idea. I really respect that idea. Kenta, where do you want to be in 20 years? But like you like not financially. I'm talking like on a creative level.
Creative level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of crazy because it's like when people always ask me where I want to be in 20 years, I never really think about the kind of creative work I'm outputting at that time. I just think about like my family life.
Hmm.
That's that's
Um,
that's a good answer.
yeah, but, like first thing that came to mind when you said like where you're gonna be in 20 years, I'm just thinking like I'm just probably chilling with like my wife and kids and like still making art here. Uh, I definitely still want to do music, but more on a advanced level, like not just on FL, but like with more proper equipment. Um, and actually make some interesting stuff, not just beats. 'Cause those are like all the same. Just think like what mediums am I outputting in? I would like to still be in like the web design industry and graphic design because I mean if everything goes according to plan, which it probably will end up different because that's just how life goes, but like agency or whatever I'm building with web design and graphic design, like that can be one of my primary sources of income, especially over 20 years of time. But who knows, maybe in 20 years, web design industry is going to be completely dead because of AI. I don't know.
One thing with that,
Yeah.
I think that's a really important note with the AI thing. no matter what, in my opinion, this is a Sam Tree take. The if the AI is the one making the decisions, it fundamentally is going, as far as design, just UI. It's fundamentally going to be non-competitive with a human being because so the reason we build humanoid robots, like the reason the Tesla bot looks like a human, is because everything we've ever built is designed for humans. The doorways are the dimensions of a human. The laundry, the handles we use, it's all human based. And I'm just so competitive with, and like he's trying, but like you can't you can't figure out what it feels like to be a human. There's no language came thousands and thousands and thousands of years after life. It's a so for that reason, I actually think people with good design perspective and good taste level are going to be the most useful in the AI era. A company can fire every single person who writes code, but if they have someone who really knows how to dress and really knows how to deal with aesthetics and colors and fonts and proportions, that's the person you should have drive the ship.
That's good to hear.
We could be cooked, though. We could be cooked.
No, I think we're cooked, bro. I'm gonna be on. I think we're cooked. On like, social value for us will go down. Like, it's just like it's inevitable. Like, we can talk about taste and things, but actually, I don't think the average person values taste that much. And they're like actually really blind to it. Um, that sounds like some supremacy shit, but I'm not on that. Um, Actually, I am on that. I'm standing on business. No, I think taste supremacy is a real thing, but I think the value for taste is just not seen. It's not as prevalent. Smaller companies will take full advantage of AI, and in their eyes, it's as if they have a exceptional employee on deck at all time for $20 a month.
But that's what
That's
I mean by competitive. Like if all of the tastemakers are robotic, that's the only reason you can have like a Kanye West come into the fashion industry and it's like, wait, no one ever dealt with earth tones? No one ever made a one piece slide? It's like, what the hell were you guys doing? Nike, how on earth did you not make a one piece 3D printed a foam slide? Like they have thousands of people who make shoes. And that's what I mean, like the magic, that what Rick Rubin talks about, that ether that we pull ideas from. The robots won't have access to that. So the more powerful, like the more leverage the robots get within those companies, I think the faster we have the ability to compete with them because it's not like the money comes from humans. Since we don't pay robots, they can't pay us. So at the end of the day, when you need to sell products, you need to sell ideas, you need people to be buying them. And that's where we do have a competitive edge. And I think a lot of these companies are taking a misstep with focusing on AI like that.
I wish companies saw it that way, but they won't, and they will continue to not see it that way. And Kanye, Ye is an anomaly. Like he's you bring on Ye regardless, right? He's an anomaly.
But it's not
And
even about
the
the
only
business. It's about the way those ideas can permeate culture because the systems before them didn't allow for them to be. So like Steven Smith, the head designer of Yeezy, he had the 700s at Nike. They didn't want to put them out. And that's what I don't trust AI's decision making to be competitive. I think we're living in a time period that really worships data, and that's where I feel like the spirit and the heart and the soul are. And another Ye analogy of like the college dropout. Like if you can inject something with spirit, the real human spirit, it just automatically becomes universal. So we'll see how it pans out. But I'd rather compete with a Tesla robot than like a college design student at making if I was in I won a state championship for web design when I was a freshman. I have a trophy at my high school for it. And when I did that, I was against like a bunch of people who knew what they're doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I completely like cheated and did all this and did all that. But at the end of it, like I there's a lot of processes that are given to us where you can just follow the from A to Z, and when the more you follow a logical process, the less room there is for actual expression and creativity. So that's where I
Mm.
expect like a hyper logical system. It'll wipe engineers out of their job. It'll wipe, a lot of softwares out of their job. But I can't imagine that it's going to make human stuff better than humans.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel that.
All right, well, at that note, I have to leave. So,
Yeah, likewise.
All right, I think it was a great stream. I really appreciate y'all giving it the time and the space. The floor is yours until you get out of here.
No, again, thank you so much for having us and letting us be the debut. I'm looking forward to who you have on here next.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a good question.
Okay, brother. Take care.
Godspeed,
It's great
guys.
speaking to you. Okay, take care. Bye. Bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Are we cooked, chat? Chat, are we cooked? I think we'll be all right, chat. Well, that was the Keep magazine interview, and I do really respect what they're doing. I think it's very easy to be in the middle of something and not recognize maybe the idea or the value of it.
Magazine interview.
But I think they are
And,
absolutely
I do.
top class, like world leaders in journalism, in making, because I haven't seen any publication, any blog, any company actually curate a digital experience like that unless it was a ladder to purchase a product. Like Hermes has done some stuff like that, Margiela's, but to actually just have a publication, like something you can go to and learn and deal with information and data, and have that move towards a video game, have that move more Web3, that's like the future right in front of our eyes. All right, I think I'm gonna end this stream so I could deal with this extremely stacked OBS channel right now, and then I'm gonna come back on live in a little, maybe have Merch do some analysis. And I need you. Hey. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you guys gave it the time and attention. It pushed me to reach new levels. This stream definitely looks better than all the other ones. And I need you. This setup is crazy. I should have used this more. I realized like halfway through. This was the channel I have labeled as main, and I forgot to use this as the main, but we got a good bit at the end with it. I do think I need to make a software to replace OBS, but no, OBS is fire. I got no beef with them, but I think I could make this a little bit simpler.